So this is my stack of poetry books. I have 6 poetry books and I'm going to try to read all of them in one day. And the reason why I'm pushing myself to read more in one day is because I am about to release my poetry collection, my first one, the first book that I'm ever going to publish, and I'm going to self-publish it. So I just really felt like having a little kickstart to finishing my collection. By no means am I copying any of the ideas here or anything like that. But I think that all these books talk about being a woman and being in a relationship, heartbreak, finding yourself. So that's why I picked these ones. And half of these books are from like celebrity TikTokers, celebrity Instagrammers. So I figured I would read their books because why not? And I'm gonna give you a honest but respectful, obviously, review at the end. I'm not here to tear anyone down. Poetry is very subjective. Like, you know, you could look at the actual rhyme scheme and you could look at actually the poem structure, but I think at the end of the day, if it resonates with you and if you enjoy it, so be it. I took a very hard poetry class in university. Thank you, Alyssa. She doesn't watch my channel, but she's one of my best friends and she's getting married this year. But Alyssa, she was the one that was like, you have to come with me. And I'm like, fine girl, I'll come. And it was the hardest class, but it was the most rewarding and lovely class I ever had. And yeah, ever since then, I even wrote even more poems. So I've been writing poems for like at least 7+ years now, but I'm finally at that point where I just want to publish something. And I do have a poetry account that I started on TikTok and on Instagram. So if you want to follow that and support me, you can. In the future, I'm going to post my link to my book so you can buy my book. And yeah, I'm so excited. I love poetry. I honestly really do love poetry. So I'm just going to go briefly through these books because anyways, you'll see me read them and share some of my favorite poems by them. So first we have TikTok poet, Isabella Dorta, and it says, How Sunflowers Bloom Under Moonlight. And I think this is about breakups and love. Then we have Unsun Swallowing by Dakota Warren, and this is again another TikToker, and she's amazing. I love her. I followed her for like over a year now, and she's really like aesthetic, she's really beautiful, and she really has a way with words. I actually read this one already, so I'll talk about it more later on, and I tabbed some of my favorites. But yeah, I'm cheating. So I actually have 5 poetry books that I'm reading today. Then I have Flux by Orion Carlotto, and she's been around since the Vine days. I used to follow her when I was a kid on Vine, and she's come a long way. She's done a lot of things. She's traveled, she's a model, she has an Instagram account, she's now on TikTok too. And I have her 2 poetry collection, but I never read them. So I figured I'd start with this one and see what I feel and how I like it. I really am obsessed with the cover of this one. And by the way, everything will be linked down below, so don't worry if I'm going too quickly through these books right now. And then we have What Kind of Woman by Kate Bauer. I'm not sure if these are poems about like love or friendship or relationship, but it looks like it is because I see Not Like Other Girls, Dearly Beloved, Backyard Wedding, etc. So it does feel like modern themes of friendship, love, and heartbreak. So, and the reason why I picked this one up is because it was highly promoted by my favorite author, like one of my favorite authors, which is Stephanie Danler, and I really trust her poetry review because she reads a lot of poetry, and the way she writes her books are very lyrical and poetic, so I really trust when she recommends something. So I picked this one up too. Then I got this one, and I got this because I kept seeing it when I was working at Chapters, and it's I Love You, Call Me Back, poems by Sabrina Benham, and I'm guessing these are about love because it says I love you, call me back. So I picked this one up too. It seems like it's short. And then I also have this one, which I just realized today that I had this in my collection. It's like kind of like overcoming a toxic relationship, and I talk a lot about toxic relationship in my own poetries. So it's She Who Destroys the Light, and it's by Shahida Arabi, and I really love the cover. It's like Red Riding Hood. So yeah, I'm gonna try to read that one as well. So I actually do have 5 only to read, but it still might take me a few hours because I wanna like not just speed read through them. I still wanna enjoy the poems. So we'll see, maybe I read all 5, maybe not. Maybe I start it and I don't know, the future is bright. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just really excited. So let's get the vlog started. I have my coffee, I have my book, I have my notebook to take notes, I have my sticky tab, and I have my phone that is playing some Hosier songs, so I'm feeling really good right now. So it's time to read. Okay guys, I read it. Did I love it? No, but it was okay. It was good. It was a good first book. I think this is her first book. I think that the writing style was very accessible. I do believe it might be for younger audience or younger reader, but the themes in here are very heavy. They deal with sexual assault and, you know, just body issues and all that, and those are themes that I actually like relate to and that I talk about a lot as well. But somehow this didn't really connect with me, and that's unfortunate. But I do love watching her TikToks, and I think it's her delivery is what works the best for her. So this book was just not for me, but it wasn't horrible in any way. It just wasn't for me. I read a lot of poetry, and I know which ones are for me and which ones are not. You know, like I know which ones scratch my itch personally, so I just already had a feeling that this might not be one of them. I was hoping for it. So I have tabbed 2 poems out of the, I think, 140 poems, and the 2 poems that I tabbed were really impactful. They were talking about like sexual assault and our society, how it views women and women's body, etc. I think those are really important messages and things to talk about. So yeah. Is it bad luck to leave your door open in a video? Because I feel like it's bad luck. I feel like possibly something bad's gonna happen just because my door is open, or it could be that I just have OCD. I don't know. But yeah, I'm on the second book of What Kind of Woman by Kate Bauer. I'm sorry, it really had to be done. It was stressing me out. Okay. Yeah, I just started it. Not much. Didn't go through much. It's about 90 pages. It's really short, so can't wait to read it. Hi! So I'm gonna finish the last 2 collections that I have in this poetry vlog, and I have She Who Destroys the Light by Shahida Arabi, and I have I Love You, Call Me Back by Sabrina Benem, and I'm like halfway through both of them, so I should be able to finish it in under an hour and give you my full thoughts and review of all of these poetry collections. So let's go! Say hello to Silas. So I finally finished this poetry collection. Is I Love You, Call Me Back by Sabrina Benem, and honestly it was really good. I actually really enjoyed this one a lot, and I would be interested in picking up any of her other collections. So this one talks about grief, breakup, and depression, and I find it interesting how she catalogs it she catalogs it in a way where it's like a season, like it follows. Sometimes she'll have like a date where it's like July 5, and then I think it starts from like June to July, like a 2-month type of thing. And yeah, she's also like grieving before her mother's passing because her mom has a brain aneurysm, so she never knows when it's going to happen. All in all, I think this one was a very interesting collection, and I have tabbed 2 poems. So yeah, on to the next one. Hi, so I'm here to wrap up the last of the poetry books that I read. So I think that I didn't review What Kind of Woman. I didn't review Flux, and I didn't review She Who Destroys the Light, which was the last poetry collection I read for this video. So let's just go through them quickly. So we have What Kind of Woman by Kate Bauer, a poetry collection about womanhood, and it says here, it's about the beauty and hardship of being a woman in the world today and the many roles we play: mother, partner, and friend. I liked it. I don't think any of these poems were revolutionary. Like I said, I wasn't jiving that much with the poetic language and lyricism, but I do like the ideas of this poetry collection. There are a few poems that I like, such as Ego. It says here, I once had a boyfriend who would not let me watch him eat. He did not want me to see him grind and swallow, gulp and guzzle, suck the marrow from his teeth. He did not want me to see him knead. So some poems I really enjoyed. They were better than others, and then some of them were just like okay, I guess. I do recommend picking this up, especially if you like women's topics and women's issues. I don't know what's going on with me lately. I feel like the poetry that I read is just not doing it, and I don't know why. Like, I don't get it. Then I read Flux by Orion Carlotto, and I've been following her since the Vine days, like back when I was a teenager, like 10 years ago, 14, 15. But this is her first collection, and it was not good, in my opinion. It wasn't like anything to be wowed or amazed of. It was mostly for aesthetic purposes, I think, and there's not really a poem or poetry here. There's like one haiku, and the rest, it just feels like it's just some like thoughts on paper or some passages from her journal without it being touched upon or elaborated or explained. I don't know, for me this was very lackluster. However, I will still pick up her second collection, which apparently has much more greater reviews and I think is more poetic than this one. So yeah, the cover was nice. I like the images that were used, but besides that, the writing, like I got through this in like 20 minutes time, and look how thick it is. It's like almost 150 pages, and it was just like, it was like I was reading a passage of someone's journal that was written rushed in the last 5 minutes, and I don't know. I don't recommend it. If you're curious, if you just want to read what she has to say, I guess pick it up, but I don't recommend it for people that don't really know her or care about her. And then finally we have She Who Destroys the Light by Shahida Arabi, and she talks about a lot of emotional abuse, mental abuse, physical and domestic abuse. So this is her first poetry collection, and it actually was really interesting and good to read. I found it really helpful. Like, I found it really empowering. It's not my favorite, but I still preferred and enjoyed this more than the last collection that I just showed you. And she uses fairy tales, myth retellings, you know, the Persephone's myth, and then she uses like Red Riding Hood and other things, and talks about gaslighting, manipulation, lying, cheating, etc., and how to like basically get back your voice as a woman who gets manipulated by a man. And I really like this, and I found this pretty empowering, so this one was a bit better than the other things that I've read. So yeah, these were the 6 modern books collection of poetry and prose that I read that, you know, has a little bit of that poetry aesthetic and whatnot. Some of them were just poems, some of them were mixed media. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll pick some of these up, even the ones where I wasn't too sold on. Maybe you will like it more, so everything will be linked down below for you to check out. And I'm actually waiting for my own poetry collection, so once I have that, I will link it down below, and I will also insert a picture here. I think I'm gonna unbox and talk about my own poetry collection in my writing vlog. So if you want to see that, it will be coming up shortly after this video. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you'll pick up my own poetry book. It will help me greatly to continue this channel, to continue my website, to continue all the things that I do working from home. And I really want to be publishing more, self-publishing, poetry, novels, everything, even like guides on how to write, how to heal, etc. You guys know I love that type of stuff. I love researching, I love reading, I love writing, and I love learning a lot. So yes, if you want, if you don't want, it's okay, it's up to you. It will be linked down below regardless. We'd love to have your thoughts and opinions. Don't be afraid to have your own thoughts and opinions. Don't be afraid to review it, even if it's a bad review. Like, I think that's fair, you know, as someone who also reviews. Like, as long as everyone is respectful, I don't think there's anything wrong to giving, you know, a 2-star, 3-star, 1-star review. If you didn't connect with something or something bothered you, it's valid. However, like I said, be respectful. Don't, you know, insult people or insult other people that enjoy different works than you, right? It could be that there are some works that I didn't really connect with, but some of them you guys connect with, and vice versa. And if you guys have any poetry recommendations, please feel free to comment down below. It doesn't matter if it's modern poetry or poetry from the past, poets from the past. I read everything. So yeah, hopefully I will hear from you guys, and I'll see you on the next shelf. Bye!